Hello, Ian. Welcome to Lucia Craft. So, how do you view the recent narratives adopted by some European scholars and policymakers regarding the Taiwan independence narrative, and what underlying assumptions of interest do you believe drive these narratives?
Well, I would say it goes in waves and it comes and goes in, part of the multi-year Western US based propaganda. There's always a story that is negative about China, and we know where it's financed. So I would say it's made by scholars who are not independent, but are serving their governments and not doing free research. And secondly, it is a way of keeping irritating, confronting, making China a bad actor in the international community because, we have documents related to US-Chinese relations. We have four that has to do with Japan, which is now a new actor in this. They are all saying the same thing, that there is one China. Now, you can discuss the legal status of these documents, but it is expressive over time from the early 70s and even 50s that this is what the West has accepted. And I don't see the point. If you are interested in peace, cooperation, stability, peaceful coexistence, you don't do things like that.
So, considering the recent attention in Europe and Japan to Taiwan-related issues, what do you see as the potential consequences of such amplification for China-Europe relations and broader multilateral stability?
I must say, I'm pretty impressed by the patience and the long-range thinking and the non-tit-for-tat attitude of the Chinese leadership, because it's constantly exposed to various types of irritations, provocations that are unnecessary. I mean, both Japan and the West have enough of their own problems. They should spend their time on being constructive and create cooperation, fulfill the, if you will, the basic premises of the five principles of peaceful coexistence, and stop this talk about, militarizing or keeping on using Taiwan as something you can play with when you feel like it. I wouldn't say it's a childish policy, because that's to offend children, but I don't understand why it cannot be expressed in a more serious, diplomatic, and mature way than it is. And so I see it as purely politics that does not serve a constructive purpose. But that is, I'm sorry to say, characteristic of the Western world at the moment. There is nothing constructive coming out. It is confrontational, it is threatening, it's sanctions, it's tariffs, it's abstaining from meetings, it is isolationism, it is projection, socio-political, psychological projection of our own bad sides on everybody else. If you cannot come up with something more visionary, something more constructive, something more positive, something that includes positive energy in a crisis-ridden world, you are losing your own relevance. And I must say, I think the West is becoming irrelevant to solving the humanity's problems. We're deep down into militarism and provocations and confrontation where it's not necessary. It's all in the mind of a falling empire that is getting more and more desperate, and that, of course, is dangerous.